Hello, Maurieo Vlogs number 192. Attitude number 1. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, it is me. Slight change. I've had a bit of what we refer to here in New Zealand as a bit of a mop chop. Yes, I walked a bit too close to the old lawnmower. No, my lovely wife cut my hair today. We bought a new pair of clippers and yeah, they were pretty good. 9mm, just like a Glock. Anyway, today's vlog is all about attitude. And from time to time, I encounter what I call contrasting attitudes. And I've labelled this one number 1 because I don't think this is the first time I'm going to talk about attitude, and it certainly isn't the first time that I've experienced attitude. So where I work, they've recently, well, in the last year or so, introduced pay parking, so we have to park there, and coupled with that is obviously someone has to police the parking, and they, well, lovingly referred to as the parking Nazi or various other words, usually with an expletive in front of it. Now the inaugural parking person didn't say much and not very flexible, and I know from what I'd heard around the traps had sort of upset quite a number of people. The attitude was, well, ambivalent, I don't know, sort of negative. And ultimately, as happens a lot of my work, a turnover occurred and we got a new person. Now, you know, my expectation of the new person was, you know, a little bit coloured by the attitude of the previous person. But anyway, on the first time I engaged with this person, I got a really positive response. I got a response for a start, one that seemed quite reasonable, and it was informative and what have you. And then since then I've had a number of little sort of pleasantries have expressed, you know, people that we do. And the other day I actually remarked that I didn't have any questions about the parking, and it transpired that I might have been the only one. But for me, the contrasting attitudes of the two people involved, very markedly different, and I know which one I prefer. It may well have been other reasons for it. I mean, the second one is perhaps closer to my generation than the first, but certainly I think attitude's important, and putting forward a positive, friendly attitude certainly pays dividends. As my wife tells me from time to time when I get her to, usually I try and get my wife to ring the people where I know there's going to be an attitude problem. Usually my attitude, but and she does remarkably well and gets way better results than what I do. So attitude is very important, and so I try my best to put forward a positive, engaging attitude in most situations, but sometimes emotion and passion takes over, and yeah, a little bit of the beast is released. But anyway, what's your attitude? Keep it positive. Now, today's background is a guy who's made this quote here about attitude, and he's showing a pretty pretty big attitude in a fairly big arena. So if you're going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception, it is a prevailing attitude. And this guy has certainly shown that in a number of fronts in fairly big things. So if you can let us know in the comments who this guy is, and perhaps what he's most famous for, that'd be awesome. Now, yesterday's guy was, of course, Sir Edmund Hillary, who climbed Mount Everest in 1953. He was a New Zealander, so he's someone that I know a fair bit of, well, all of the public stuff about. But he's most famous for the comment that he made when he was asked about climbing Mount Everest, and he is purported to say that he knocked the bugger off, which is a very colloquial Kiwi expression. And for that, I think he's probably more liked for that than a lot of the other stuff he said, that he's a good old down-to-earth Kiwi bloke. Although apparently, from the reading that I did yesterday, it's a phrase that he'd used before when he climbed another mountain as well. So perhaps a wee bit predictable, but nonetheless, Sir Edmund Hillary. And so that brings us to an end of another vlog, and one where I've at least trimmed down a little bit, even if it is my hair. Yes, and yeah, the new clippers are great, and look forward to seeing you again. So hope you have a marvellous day tomorrow. Cheers. See you.